justify the fact that it is worthwhile to continue looking at it as something or rejecting it. But right now, I look at the board and it seems like a bunch of hypocritical, I got to stop there or I'll say something wrong. But that's why I think they're very hypocritical.
In this reclassification of marijuana as what type of level of narcotic it is, I understand that that's at the federal level, correct?
Right.
Right. So that actually is a change that would have to be made at the federal level. So that certainly would be in then the ball field of Senator Klobuchar or Senator Franken and our representatives out in Washington, D.C.
But I guess my one point here, and I guess I'm being a little bit of a civil disobedience type individual here, but the reality of what we've seen with marijuana over the period of time is technically that hasn't changed over the last 35 years from when I was a kid. And the truth of the matter is, what's changed is the attitude of the public and realizing that because of certain states were winking at the federal law and doing, how should I say, unofficial experiments with it. These states like California, I think Utah's another one, they are already supplying the marijuana out of their states. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get at here is the board was supposed to look at it from the standpoint of how is it supposed to be that we're going to offer it to people who really have an issue. Mm-hmm. And in this,
but they clearly have decided that that's what they're not going to do.
Oh, I know, but
right.
the sad part about it is for the people who are suffering, mm-hmm. it's almost like a slap in their face. And I guess, ironically, I'm seeing it as the fact that they have had the wink of our federal government that's saying, because of we have put it into this kind of no man's land, we are allowing marijuana to be experimented in certain states under whatever the state determines they can do it with. And that's why certain states can carry a stash of pot if you have certain type of circulatory and other types of physical problems, mm-hmm. like Parkinson's and MS, mm-hmm. and those things there. So the reality is, I guess that's why I kind of am very disappointed with the board. I'll go with the next things here, which is we've been talking about Dayton's oil train risks and all that. And, of course, he is going ahead and speaking out on the risks of it. But what I think changed this week was the fact that Obama actually is now doing an analysis of the pipeline and is stopping that at the same time. I honestly feel that as a state, we are being inconvenienced by big oil and by a foreign power in this case. Because of when we're running our trains, it isn't our trains. It is the trains for the Canadian Pacific that are coming down into our area. And because of we have our own oil that we have to ship across the United States too. Now, I'm not trying to be, how should I say, a Yankee putting up barriers. But I'm saying that if they are using, and it is going to be more effective, cost effective for them to take their oil through the United States rather than running it across their own territory and shipped off their own borders, then maybe we should be able to get some type of remuneration. And as we referred to it before, I'd like to see either a tax or some type of fee for transit. It doesn't matter if it's the pipeline or if it happens to be the trains coming across. Every gallon that's coming across can be statistically calculated, and that's what would come back to the state mm-hmm. as even $1 per gallon. That would be a great infusion to really re-invive, especially since we've talked about it quite a bit, this $5 billion stadium debt. And no